Here's another South Bay real estate update. I've got to talk about one thing that the Federal Reserve has done that's got almost no one talking.
Again?
Not again.
We saw it coming. The committee has decided to vote for another short-term interest rate hike that has pushed the benchmark to a level that has not been this high for 22 years. Can you believe it? I can. Oh, and our dear Chairman Jerome Powell has said something really interesting. Well, interesting or stupid. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Hey, the Fed's raised its fund rate by nearly 0.25%, sending the benchmark to around 5.25% to 5.5%. And we haven't seen that kind of an interest rate since 2001. We were just kids. Fun fact, this is the 11th time that the Fed has raised that short-term interest rate since March of 2022. Yeah, 11.
Put it up to 11.
11, exactly. One louder.
Why don't you...
These go to 11.
To put this into perspective, we're seeing a level of aggressiveness in this interest rate hikes that we haven't seen since the 1980s. Back then, the economy was sputtering and interest rates were reaching sky-high levels. And my hair was brown and I had a porn mustache. It's like history's repeating itself, and not in a good way. What does that have to do with the local real estate market here in the South Bay, Los Angeles? Well, even though the experts all say, you know, when the Feds raise the short-term interest rates, it has nothing to do with long-term rates. Nothing. Even though you're not a math genius like me, you'll probably notice that the long-term interest rates have gone up higher since the 1990s. So, it seems to me that long-term rates have followed the short-term rates higher since we went from 30-year fixed mortgages from the 2% a year and a half ago going all the way up to the 7% in the same time frame. You do the math as homework. It's due tomorrow morning. No excuses. And if you want to know about all the financial happenings and get the insider tips about everything that's happening in this real estate landscape, hit the subscribe button so you won't miss out on any of my future updates and my fantastic property showcases, you know, Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach, and Redondo Beach, and all around the South Bay, Los Angeles. Join our community and let's make the most of this wild ride together. I know you're probably asking, has this affected every market in the United States? Probably. There's just less buyers out there buying. And those of them who can wait, they're waiting. Why are they waiting? Lots of reasons, but mostly for the interest rates to go down. And Jerome Powell, genius that he seems to be, mentioned last week in his speech, there will be a lot more housing coming in the near future. What does he know that we don't? None of us know where this housing is hiding. Or what is he referring to? Also, we're watching and waiting to see if we're going into a recession.
Too much recession, man. No, man, you mean he ran into too much repression, man. Repression, recession, man.
By the way, it's tough to tell if you're heading into a recession until you can actually look back and say, there it is, there it is, there it is. Stay tuned.